Welcome to Match Play, where every episode starts with a spark and ends with insight that can only come from personal experience at the highest level. Let's tee up some good conversation. I'm Thad Miller. Today's guest is Bill Bussick, the founder and president and CEO of DuraMark Technologies in Westfield, Indiana. Bill built DuraMark into a leading producer of durable labels for major industrial equipment manufacturers, including Toro, Terex, Toyota fork trucks, JLG, and General Motors. In 2021, he sold DuraMark to Cardinal Equity Partners, a private equity firm based in Indianapolis. After the acquisition, Bill has remained CEO. He's a graduate of Ball State University with a degree in marketing, and he also serves on their board of advisors for their Entrepreneur Center. As always on Match Play, we start with a spark. While the flame burns, I'll ask you some rapid fire questions. Bill, thanks for being here.
You bet.
When the flame goes out, we dive into the conversation. Okay, light that match. Let's go.
The match broke quick.
That's okay. We're getting back into it. You're doing fine. All right. What's your favorite cigar?
Oh, Padron 7000.
There you go. Would you prefer sweet or savory snacks since it's the holiday season?
Oh, I would go sweet.
Okay. Pie or cake?
Cake.
All right. Best way to cook a turkey?
Without question, a trash can.
I've heard your trash can is
pretty awesome.
Nice job. You survived. Okay. The match is out.
I didn't burn my finger.
Bill, a friend of mine, great to have you, founder and CEO of DuraMark, a company that produces high-performance, durable, basically stickers. You're a sticker salesman,
Stickers.
Right?
You can't say sticker in my building. It's $1 fine. Labels
They're
and
labels.
decals.
Okay. Tell us about it. Like, what is the product? Like, give us a sense of what it is.
Yeah, so I tell people probably the easiest way to think about what we do is you think about equipment that you operate at home or in construction or agriculture. If it's a piece of equipment that can hurt you, those are the manufacturers that we go call on because they're loaded with warning, branding, and instructional labels, how to use that equipment.
Got it. How did you come up with this? Like, give us the origin story.
Yeah, so I've been in the printing business for 40 years. Started with a very large printer out of college, $1 billion printer, selling business forms and labels. And actually, I got into printing accidentally. My mother-in-law gave my resume to somebody at a dinner party, and he was looking for sales reps, and I ended up in the printing business. And they say in the printing business, you only go out feet first. Once you're in, you're in. So that's how I got in the business. DuraMark started, it was kind of everything aligning at one time. I was running the sales organization for this larger company. We were working with a General Motors at the time to create a piece of equipment that could digitally make a set of labels to put on the cars in the assembly line. We had a prototype and had it done, got our first PO, and the company decided to sell us. And so that prototype was sitting under a tarp in a plant basement, and me and
it's like Indiana Jones, like where the Ark was.
Yes,
back in the back.
It was. Nobody was thinking about it. The new CEO of the company that I reported to, and I didn't really see eye to eye on values, and so it was kind of time to go. So me and two other guys decided to buy that prototype and the patent application.
What did it cost?
$400,000.
Really?
That's it.
So significant investment, though.
It was
for something that was just sitting in the warehouse.
Well, exactly. We as a company had spent about $3 million building it.
Oh, okay.
So it was a bargain.
Discount.
It was a bargain for us, for sure. But that's how we got started, and that was November of 2007.
You and two other people.
Correct.
Are they still with DuraMark?
One is not. One's retired,
Okay.
and my other co-founder is still with us.
Awesome.
He's doing sales.
What were the early years? I mean, how did it evolve to where it is today? What were the early years like?
Well, the early years were very interesting because, as I said, we started November of 2007.
Ah, yeah.
Great time to start a company.
I started mine in 2009, yeah. I was
Well,
in the middle of it.
You were in the middle of it. I was before we even knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So it was, I tell people it was a good time to start a business and a terrible time because had I known that the recession was coming, I never would have left and started it.
Right.
But then once it hit, it was crazy because, as you can imagine, equipment manufacturers are not building things.
Right.
Well, if they're not building things, There's no
You're not
label.
putting a
There's
label
no
on it.
labels going out. So, we got off to about a good 6 month start, and then the recession hit, and then I turned into actually a fundraiser, just to keep the company afloat.
And private funding,
Private funding.
just talking to people that you knew,
Family and friends.
Wow,
Family and friends is how we started the whole thing.
Wow, and obviously, when did you start to see some traction that you're coming out of it?
Yeah, so we continued even in those days that no one was buying anything. What we were hearing from prospects is this is a great idea. You can make labels faster, durable labels faster than anybody else digitally. Come back when we're building stuff. And so we just scratched and clawed for survival for those 2 or 3 years. And then companies started.
Like 2010?
Yeah, 10, 11.
Okay, yeah. Was when you really started.
Yep, and we started getting some good customers. And then.
Did you have competitors? Did you lose competitors? What did that look like?
Well, we had no competitors in how we were making the labels. So most all of the durable labels when we got started were screen printed. Okay. And we were making them digitally, which gave us a lot of advantages for speed and cost.
Sure.
So they loved the idea, but we just had to wait till they started making them again.
And the screen printing, I can't, obviously that had to have some limitations, like how long does those wording last on a machine that goes out in the snow and in the
Well, that was
dirt?
The biggest thing for us because screen printing is one of the oldest printing technologies and one of the most durable.
Right.
So that's who we compete with. When we started the company, there was nobody making durable labels digitally. So we had to not only had the recession challenge, we also had the education challenge and getting people to believe that a digital label would last outdoors as long as a screen printed label. So that was a big challenge.
So I envision like a big Caterpillar, piece of machinery. You're putting labels there and you're custom fitting those for what they created.
That's
so
correct.
You're working with the manufacturer, like what's my space limitation?
Absolutely.
All of that. Okay.
Yeah, we do all the artwork. It's not unusual. Like Terex, one of our biggest customers, they make scissor lifts, Genie scissor lifts. You see the gray and the blue scissor lifts everywhere on construction sites. Each piece of equipment has 105 labels on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The more it can hurt you and the more dangerous it is.
Yeah.
That's a better
wheelhouse.
That's a better place for us to go.
Good for
call
DuraMark.
Yeah.
How many employees do you have now? Is this your peak?
Yeah.
It
is. We made an acquisition a year and a half ago of a screen printer, actually.
Oh, wow.
And so we've got 130 employees now.
Okay.
Two manufacturing locations.
Here and elsewhere?
Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously you were a marketing guy.
Yep.
And sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it led you to obviously CEO now, but as far as leadership, how did that marketing along the way, obviously you had to sell all these people to invest in you when it was tight,
Yeah. Well, I guess I was always, I went to Ball State in architecture.
Oh.
I wanted to be an architect.
Okay.
And ended up joining a fraternity, and it was a lot more fun to be in a fraternity than to
be an architect.
To be an architect and the rigor of the classes and so forth. So I leaned on marketing and sales, and really that was more of a natural thing for me.
Sure.
Honestly.
Sure.
But yes, it's a huge advantage when you're going to raise money.
Yeah.
If you have some skills in the sales side, people don't invest in your business plan. They invest in you.
Yeah.
So you've got to really sell yourself, sell your company, and certainly have a solid business plan.
That's great. There's no doubt about it that you got to believe in the person behind the machines. That's what makes the difference.
No question. And I bet I've pitched well over 100 people and companies to raise money over my years.
Yeah.
And without question, they all said, just remember, we're investing in you.
Right.
Not necessarily your business.
That's great. That's great advice. So when did you first realize that DuraMark was becoming a true industry leader? Like when did you feel like you were maybe passing the screen printers? I mean, when did that?
I would say when we finally landed the Terex account, the Genie account, that was probably about 2011. And as I said earlier, we were out really evangelizing digital printing. Nobody else was digitally printing durable labels when we started. And so we had to get over that education hump, as well as have a large company actually say yes to us. And it seems like that's what really catapulted us. Once we got that first big one,
right,
and we could say, hey, we're doing business with Terex and we're doing business with General Motors,
right,
other big companies were more willing.
Any key decisions that were kind of allowed you to scale with that? I mean,
I would say this. We started with the prototype piece of equipment, as I said earlier, and it was literally that. We didn't even know if it would work.
You and your machine. I'm taking that ball.
We called ourselves 3 men and a prototype.
That's great.
But I would say, along the way, we continued to innovate that digital printing technology. So the print engines in our machine changed over time, and it allowed us to do more colors and those sort of things. That really opened us up from a relatively small company to being able to do business with big companies.
Do you still use that same machine, or you have different machines?
We have different ones now. We still have a couple of them that we're using for a certain finishing of certain labels, but they're getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah. So things are cranking. You're doing well. At what point did you start thinking about selling?
You'll hear a lot of people talk about a lifestyle business. We never felt like we wanted just a lifestyle business and, we just keep doing this forever, and then our kids would do it and their kids would.
Right.
This was always, all the guys that started the business with me, all three of us came from a, $1 billion company. So we were about growth. And we thought if we could start something with this new thought process and new technology, then we could sell it. And, it would have been, I can't remember the year, but it was pre-COVID that a couple of private equity firms, there's a lot of consolidation in the printing market right now, and the private equity guys are getting into it heavy. We got approached by a San Francisco-based private equity firm and a local one. Mm-hmm. And so that was the first really, should we consider this? And we were kind of getting into the flow of the due diligence, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so everybody pulled back. And we just went about our business of surviving like everybody else. And then right after COVID kind of started to subside, then Cardinal Equity Partners came back and said, hey, let's do a deal. And we did.
Great. Did you go back to the San Francisco one also, or did you feel more connected to Cardinal?
Private equity, I tell people, if you get involved with private equity and you talk to 10 business founders that sell to private equity, 8 of them hate it and 2 of them think it's a great thing.
Right.
I'm in that 2 category.
Right.
The Cardinal Equity guys are awesome. It's more of a family office, so they don't have funds that they have to hit certain numbers for. They might hold a company for 20 years or 2 years.
Right.
And just a more relaxed, they look for companies that have a great leadership and management team, as opposed to a lot of private equity firms want to buy you and then replace those people with their own people.
Right. And churn it in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's really why we went with Cardinal, was their business model.
And preparing for that, even before that, what are some things that maybe sellers misunderstand before going into that? Like how do they, what's the best way to prepare for that sale in your head?
Yeah.
Looking back.
Well, I would say some of the most important things, because now I'm on the other side looking for acquisitions. Mm-hmm. And you're looking for a nice growth trajectory. Mm-hmm. That's probably one of the most important things. The next one would be having a good, solid gross margin. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants a growing, good growth margin company that is well run. Right. And that would be the people like Cardinal Equity. Some players want to find distressed companies.
Right.
That's I've not been associated with any of those, but the Cardinal guys, that's what they wanted to look at. You got to have your books really in place.
That's critical.
You're-
I mean, in my
you're
business,
counting.
that is
Yeah.
so important. In every sale, I would say. But that would be if somebody's listening to this, thinking about selling, get your books in line. If you need to hire outside of where you're at to get it straightened out, I think that's critical.
No question. And when you look at the other side, the due diligence that goes into the acquirer, that they pay for companies to go in and look at your books, if it's not clean, it can cost you the deal.
Yeah, it just starts, the dominoes start falling of lack of trust,
That's right.
it is what you're telling me is real.
Yeah, because buyers are looking for the problems,
Right.
the potential problems.
Yes.
And if there aren't any, that just makes it go smooth.
Yeah, and obviously they get a higher value. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
So how about you? I mean, you go from, it's me, my two friends, and this machine, right? To growth, or to oh my gosh, recession, growth, COVID, sale. Like, what did you learn about yourself in this whole process?
Probably grit.
Mm-hmm.
I read, there's a great book out there by I think her name's Duckworth, called Grit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a test you can take. Are you gritty or are you not gritty?
All
right?
right.
And I would say grit was really it. I don't give up easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to succeed in everything I've done my whole life. Not so much playing golf, just to tie it
That's
back
all right.
here.
None of us
And
are
we'll
any
talk
good.
about that.
None of us are any good. We'll get to your tip here in a
Yeah,
little bit.
but grittiness, I would say, is probably the biggest thing. And just I'm not risk averse. I'm okay with risk. So jumping in and doing things and being gritty was probably the reason that we're still here.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt about it. Sometimes, what did Churchill say? If you're growing through hell, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were times you felt like you were.
Well, my late dad was a GE executive. He worked for Welsh. And
for Jack Welch, yeah.
And he told me when we were going through a lot of these tough times, and if you can survive this, you can survive anything.
Yeah.
And he was right. I mean, those trials and tribulations that you go through as an entrepreneur are great and frequent, but you got to get through them.
Yeah. Well, and you do some coaching of entrepreneurs at Ball State. Tell me a little bit about that. That's intriguing.
Yeah, it's fun. I've been on the entrepreneurial school board for the last, 6 or 7 years, and they've got a great school at Ball State. It didn't exist when I went there.
Right.
It actually started with Kratko, the IU
I
guy.
met him. He's wonderful.
Yeah. So he was an IU professor that then started it in Ball State in 1983.
Yeah.
The year after I graduated.
Right. I mean.
So, but it's a great program. So you get, it's not a huge number of kids.
Right.
But they have to put a business plan together, and they don't graduate unless they put their business plan together, and it goes before a board. So I've been on that panel that judges those.
Yeah.
And so forth.
Judged by non-professors, right?
That's
right. That's
It's
unique.
It is very
like business people judging.
I think they're the only ones in the country that have that pass-fail kind of scenario. And I can tell you, over those 6 or 8 years, we've had to tell people, no, sorry.
You got to go another semester of school.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure their parents were not happy.
They were not. Who are you? You're not a professor.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But I really, that's what I want to do when I retire is help young entrepreneurs, because when you're starting, I was an entrepreneur at an old age. I was 46, 47, had been with a large company for 25 years. So I kind of had a network of people I could rest on with regard to accounting and manufacturing, because I was a sales guy. Right. And so that network is really important. So helping startups, just having somebody there, that's what I want to do when I retire.
Well, I think your role now as an acquirer, that's great, because you can kind of build what the next thing is for DuraMark, obviously, with that experience. So what major changes have you seen in manufacturing? Like in this, what's changed in the industrial space that you see, path forward? Yeah.
I think it's probably the same thing that anybody would say today, and that's AI.
Mm-hmm.
AI is really taking hold and growing so fast it's hard to keep up with. But just for example, we've got 10 art people in our 2 sites, because we have to actually put the art together for the label, the designs and so forth. we're right now working on a AI project where that's all done automatically. And so it's those kinds of things. AI is going to just drive a ton of efficiency.
Okay.
And we're just getting started with that.
Right.
So I'd say that's probably the biggest one.
Absolutely.
The printing industry has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And they're digital, the whole digital, in fact, the label business, like I said, digital wasn't a manufacturing technique 18 years ago.
Right.
Our machine was the first one. Now everybody's into digital for making durable labels.
Right.
So we've seen that come along, but AI definitely, I think, will be the biggest factor.
So digital, you were like the first digital.
We were in the durable space.
Exactly.
Other people were making, durable labels that don't last outdoors, but
right.
Nobody else was doing it digitally.
That's incredible. That's super cool. All right. So before we wrap up, we always end match play with a golf connection.
Yes.
Okay. And I want to know like a swing thought, a golf tip, something you have for the listeners.
I told you yesterday when I saw you, I've got one.
All right, let's hear it.
Because I literally just experienced this. So somebody gave me a book called Greatness.
Okay.
And it was written by a doctor. I think his first name's David, but his last name's Cook.
Okay.
He was a professional golfer and is now one of the foremost sports psychologists and works with a ton of PGA guys.
Okay, I do recognize his name.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so I was lucky enough. He's associated with the Ball State board.
Okay.
And they invited him to an event that was up at Purgatory. So I got to sit and listen to him, and he went through his book, and his book is great. It's called Greatness, actually.
Yeah.
And it's a great book because it's not about swing, grip,
correct,
position, anything. It's all about the mental part of the game.
Okay.
And he's his whole degree is in sports psychology, and
you got me excited. Now I need to know the tip. You teed up here.
Well, it's SFT.
Okay.
SFT. That's all you got to remember.
All right.
See it, feel it, and trust it. And he did it was really
SFT.
It was really interesting. You'll have to get his book, but you and I walk up to a tee on a tough course. You got water right. You got traps left.
Right.
Maybe there's a creek in front of you. It's a long hole. What are you thinking about? You're thinking about all the trouble.
Right.
And his whole research is around how do I replace those troubling thoughts. How many times have you said, don't hit it there?
Right.
And you hit it there.
All the time.
And he said, you can absolutely help yourself there by replacing those thoughts.
Okay.
And that's where he's saying you visualize, you see the shot you want to play. You actually, in the book, he talks about a couple of the pros that he made them actually tell the caddy on the course during a tournament, here's the shot I'm going to play. And their score improved.
Yeah.
And so you see the shot. That's the first thing.
Right.
Then you feel it. You forget kind of all the mechanical stuff and just feel the shot. And then most importantly, trust it.
All right.
And I think,
I like that.
the neat thing about
it's cold here now, so
it's right.
It'll be a bit. I'll have to write that down.
Read the book.
Read the book.
He puts SFT on his ball, on his golf ball still. But the neat thing about the book and the whole see it, feel it, trust it, you can relate that right back to entrepreneurialism.
Right.
You can relate it to your daily life. See it, feel it, trust it. It's just, it's a good thing to think about.
That's great. I love it. So,
well, and the mental game is all I have left.
That's all you got.
My mechanics are shot.
Well, you could be a great caddy one day, maybe. Okay.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. I've always said that. I'd love to caddy for a pro.
For somebody with talent.
I wouldn't give them much help. But
right. The trust goes down when you keep hitting the water, it turns out.
Right.
So, well, thanks, Billy. I appreciate you being here and for joining and for everybody tuning in to Match Play. We'll see you next round. Thanks, Bill.
You bet.